Welcome to News Channel 8. I'm Junior Garcia, and here are some of the top stories we have for you tonight. Killing on St. Croix, new school talks on St. John, and territory resident snags top film prize. These stories and more up next on News Channel 8.
TV8 News is brought to you by Total Excellium. More protection, more miles. Total, you know where to turn.
Late breaking news tonight. A brazen daytime ambush just hours ago left a St. Croix man shot to death near the Agriculture Fairgrounds. Virgin Islands Police Department spokeswoman Melanie Rames has more.
Police investigation revealed that a male individual who was outside of the Lower Love service station opened fire on a green and multicolored Honda Civic that was driving west to east on Queen Mary Highway. Gunshots struck the male driver, who eventually crashed his vehicle into the concrete entrance to the Department of Agriculture. Another vehicle, a green truck, also crashed into the concrete entrance alongside of the Honda Civic. Police said that the driver of the truck was not involved in the shooting but lost control of his vehicle during the incident. Police said the victim was pronounced dead on the scene, and he is believed to be in his early 20s. The Criminal Investigation Bureau and Major Crime detectives continue investigating this incident, and the police urge anyone who has any information about this latest shooting to contact detectives, 911, or call Crime Stoppers USVI.
In other news, Governor John D. Young Jr. has rejected Senate President Malone's request to withdraw the governor's request for a special legislative session on July 23rd to discuss pressing matters raised by the Virgin Islands Port Authority.
Even after, and hopefully the legislature will approve the permit, which they did earlier this month in the Committee of Jurisdiction, the Economic Development Committee, even after they approve the permit, by the CCM permit, we still have to go to the Army Corps of Engineers to get their approval, which means either discussions in San Juan, possibly even in Jacksonville. After they give approval, we then have to still go out and identify a contractor, negotiate a contract with that company, and then get the dredging done. So in the best scenario, we have maybe at most a 2-week window to be able to meet that November 30th date. And because of that, I felt the need to be able to, that we needed to have this special session. Admittedly, the Senate President did ask me to withdraw my request because he had then scheduled a session for July 28th, and he thought that they could take up that consideration then. But even with that 2-week window I mentioned, an additional week really is tremendously dangerous for us in terms of meeting that time frame. It doesn't give us enough of a cushion. And there's no doubt that I'm sure he's very sincere with respect to meeting that date and being able to consider it on the 28th. But what I have to do is be mindful of that fact that they had a session scheduled for July 11th, and they canceled that session. They then had a session scheduled for July 21st, and they canceled that session. So rather than us having the anxiety that something could happen, my best is to stay the course. I work very closely with the Senate President and all the senators. I would usually try to grant the request they make because the partnership is important. But on this one, I've got to ask them to consider it, hopefully give us a favorable consideration so that the Port Authority can go complete the project and we can feel secure going into the season. Even after, and hopefully the legislature will approve the permit, which they did earlier this month in the Committee of Jurisdiction, the Economic Development Committee. Even after they approve the permit, by the CCM permit, we still have to go to the Army Corps of Engineers to get their approval, which means either discussions in San Juan, possibly even in Jacksonville. After they give approval, we then have to still go out and identify a contractor, negotiate a contract with that company, and then get the dredging done. So in the best scenario, we have maybe at most a 2-week window to be able to meet that November 30th date. And because of that, I felt the need to be able to, that we needed to have this special session.
We'll bring you more on that session's aftermath. Today, VITEMA issued a weather statement from the National Hurricane Center that announces storm activity forming within the region. Alexis Barnes has the details.
Earlier today, the National Hurricane Center in Miami, Florida, designated an area of low pressure slowly organizing in the Atlantic. According to the 11 a.m. Special Outlook report, shower activity associated with a small area of low pressure located about midway between the Cape Verde Islands and the Lesser Antilles has increased during the past few hours. Although this activity remains limited, it continues to show signs of organization. Satellite data also indicates that a closed circulation could be forming and that the system is producing a small area of winds near tropical storm force. A tropical depression could develop during the next couple of days while the system moves westward to west-northwestward at 15 to 20 miles per hour. After that time, however, environmental conditions are expected to become less conducive for development, according to the outlook. The area of low pressure has a medium chance, 50%, of forming in the 5 days. The Virgin Islands Territorial Emergency Management Agency is monitoring.
Police on St. Croix and St. Thomas are still searching for 2 teenage girls who have gone missing since last week in unrelated cases. Here is Melanie Rames, report with the details.
Juvenile Investigation Bureau detectives on St. Thomas and St. Croix are asking the community's assistance in locating 2 17-year-old missing runaway females. The girls were reported missing recently on St. Thomas and St. Croix. However, their cases are not related. The missing females have been seen recently in the territory. Terica Alexander was last seen on July 14th on St. Thomas, and Rash Jahida Escobar was recently seen on St. Croix. Both girls are familiar with both St. Thomas and St. Croix and may be on either island. Despite being labeled as frequent runaways, Youth Investigation Unit detectives are concerned with the welfare of Alexander and Escobar. Detectives said it is imperative that the girls are located as soon as possible for their own safety. Terica Alexander is 6 foot tall and weighs 190 pounds, and she has short black hair. She's originally from St. Thomas. Rash Jahida Escobar was born on St. Croix. She is 5 foot 5 inches tall and weighs 120 pounds. She has a brown complexion and short hair. Both girls may be wearing a weave, a wig, or extensions to alter their hairstyles. If you have seen or know the whereabouts of Terica Alexander, please contact the Juvenile Investigation Bureau on St. Thomas at 715-5540, 715-5542, or you can call 911. If you have seen or know the whereabouts of Rash Jahida Escobar, please contact the St. Croix Juvenile Investigation Bureau at 778-2211 or call 911. The police remind the public that anyone who harbors and or assists a runaway minor may face criminal prosecution.
If you have any information on the girls' whereabouts, please call the police. The territory is gearing up to host a major mental health conference on St. Croix and St. Thomas. Stephanie Barnes recently appeared on the Straight Talk radio show to discuss the conference.
How do you maintain your balance with all these challenges? I'm talking about you're in the middle of a certain segment of the community that is really ultra challenged. Obviously, you don't have a great big budget, and you are almost like a one-man band. So when you take a look at the economic situation in the Virgin Islands, this particular group, extremely challenged, and one person, how is this affecting the ability for you to handle the kind of load that you have?
Well, I also have support. I happen to work for a governor who's very supportive of what I do. I am not micromanaged by the governor. I am held to task for an accountability for executing the responsibilities of my job. However, I know when it comes to getting what I need done and I need the support, he is there. For example, I tend to, it seems like I am a one-woman show, but thanks to the governor, he has afforded me the opportunity to have actually 103 ADA coordinators in the territory.
Wow.
So people see me because I am the first ADA coordinator for the territory. Sure. But why I am actually putting this event together, one of the reasons is because I want people to know and see how far we have come in the last 4 years. And one of the things that is most pleasing to me is the fact that we have all these ADA coordinators placed throughout the territory in all our agencies and departments and all the instrumentalities also, and they are very supportive to me.
Sure.
Whenever I have training or I have Cornell University come in and conduct training, it is incredible, the support of the ADA coordinators in the territory.
Sure.
Students on St. John could have a new school to attend in the future. The Office of the Governor, in conjunction with the Departments of Education and Public Works, will hold the second of 3 meetings on Tuesday, July 29th at the Julius E. Squav School, beginning at 5:30 p.m. to discuss the school's construction. Well, stay tuned. We have more news right after this.
This is News Channel 8. This is News Channel 8.
Welcome back to News Channel 8, and here is Cynthia Graham with your nightly Caribbean report.
Thank you, Junior. Tonight we begin with some important news about dengue fever. With most of the Caribbean and about half the world's population at risk of contracting the debilitating illness, scientists recently developed the world's first vaccine against the mosquito-borne virus that has proven to work in large-scale trials. Research published in Britain's Lancet Medical Journal indicates that over 50% of children who are given the new vaccine are protected against the disease. Results also show the vaccine prevents 80% of cases of potentially deadly fever and bleeding associated with dengue fever. Dengue fever affects more than 1 million people per year. Days after he allegedly complained to colleagues that he was feeling pressured at work, Antigua's housing executive officer at the Central Housing and Planning Authority, Pretzel Joseph, was found hanging at his home on Sunday around 7 a.m. Police did not disclose who found the body of the 39-year-old executive or whether foul play was suspected, but some of Joseph's colleagues said he had been stressed at work after he received an order to halt all land sales until he had conducted a review of several land distribution matters. However, the sources said they couldn't tell whether the issues at work were linked to Joseph's suspected suicide. Investigations into the death continues. And finally tonight, here's the only time you can play golf and feel great about hitting the ball in the water. The Four Seasons Resort in Nevis is billing itself as a green driving range of sorts, complete with eco-friendly balls that dissolve into fish food within 72 hours of hitting the water. So you'll get to practice your swing while helping the local sea life. Just set up a turf mat on the sand and take aim at the tiny floating green off in the distance for a fun game of Eco-Bio Golf. This has been tonight's Caribbean Report. I'm Cynthia Graham. We'll be back here tomorrow to bring you more news and views from in and around the Caribbean. Back to you, Junior.
Cynthia's wardrobes provided by Morella's Boutique in Village Mall, Barron Spot.
Well, thank you, Cynthia. Former VI resident Oliver Otley III has won the 2014 American Black Film Festival Award for his feature film, Crew, at an awards ceremony held in New York City in June. Congratulations. Some local entrepreneurs are showcasing their business savvy. Let's take a look.
My name is Safia, and this is Sumaya. We are selling beaded bracelets, rubber band bracelets, nail polish, gooseberry stew. This one is a keychain, hibiscuses, and bracelets. I learned from on YouTube. A friend of mine told me about it, and she told me what different styles they are and the names of it, so I could go on YouTube and learn how to do it. We're also selling gooseberry stew. We plan to start our own business instead of working for someone. Remember to support the local arts and crafts. We are located in Barnsplat Village Mall, where our mother works in vegetarian creation. Feel free to stop by.
More news straight ahead.
This newscast has been sponsored by Mario's Virgin Crystal. Let us save you the hassle of lugging those jugs around. Purified bottled water conveniently delivered to your home or office. Also available in your favorite grocery store. Call 773-2810.
This is News Channel 8. This is News Channel 8.
And finally tonight, here is Stephen Koo Francis with your local baseball playoffs action in your Sports 411 update.
Thanks a lot, Junior. Tonight we continue our coverage of the playoff action in the AA Baseball League at the DC Canagator Ballpark. While on Sunday in the first game of the day, we had the Titans versus the Yankees with the series tied at 1 game apiece, while the Yankees took the win 8-4 and advanced to the championship series. Conroy Samuel, he got the win. Joseph Blank went 2 for 4 with 2 RBIs, and Makil Rogers, he also went 2 for 4. Folks, in the second game, it was the Vikings versus the Hurricanes. They too was tied at 1 game apiece, but the defending champs was able to prevail against the Hurricanes 10-6. Colin Williams, he got the win. Odango Davila, he went 2 for 3 with an RBI. So the Champion Series gets on the way on Wednesday. The best of 5 series start at 7 p.m. at the DC Canagator Ballpark between the defending champs, the Vikings, and the Yankees. I think it's their 50th time meeting in the championship. I don't really know, I'm just joking. But folks, on the real, they have met a lot, and this should be a good one. Let's look at Sports 411 update. I'm Stephen Koo Francis for News Channel 8.
Don't go anywhere, we have your weather coming up next.
Your weather coming up next. Your weather.
And here's a look at your local weather.
Tonight, there will be a few isolated thunderstorms developing overnight with temperatures at a low of 78. There will be a 20% chance of rain. Tomorrow will be more isolated thunderstorms in the morning, followed by partly cloudy weather in the evening. High 85, low of 79, and a 10% chance of rain during the day. On Wednesday, expect a partly cloudy and windy day with isolated thunderstorms in the evening, a high of 86 and a low of 80%, chance of rain 30%. On Wednesday, expect a partly cloudy and windy day with isolated thunderstorms in the evening, high of 86 and low of 80 degrees, chance of rain 30%. More isolated thunderstorms on Thursday with a high of 87 degrees and a low of 79, chance of rain 20% in the afternoon and 50% in the evening. On Friday, there will also be scattered thunderstorms during the day and in the evening with a high of 86 degrees and a low of 80, a 30% chance of rain. This has been Alexis Barnes with your Channel 8 News weather.
Thank you very much for tuning in. That's all we have for local news. Do not forget to like us on Facebook at WSVI-CH8. And also follow us on Twitter at WSVI-TV News. And be sure to subscribe to Channel 8 on your YouTube at WSVI-TV News Channel 8. Watch us on your computer, plus use the free Dish Anywhere app to DVR us or see us anywhere in the world on your smartphone or tablet. I'm Junior Garcia, and World News is up next. Good night.
TV8 News was brought to you by Total Excellium. More protection, more miles. Total. You know where to turn.